I wasn't paid or anything like that. I just think Matt is a good guy, although he is a Celtic supporter. In fact, I probably shouldn't say that because there'll be other Celtic supporters out there who I've now alienated. It's good to see you. How are things going? My mic has went a little wrong again, so I'm having to do a little voiceover. But today we've got a Kilkerran Open Day, 15-year-old for the 2019 Open Day, matured in bourbon, 57.1% ABV, no added colouring and non-chill filtered. Doesn't actually say that on the bottle, but we can assume that this is the case, as generally speaking, Springbank don't add colouring or chill filter the whiskey. So hopefully the mic holds up for the rest of the review and you enjoy it. Cheers. This whiskey was, this is a long time since I bought it, maybe £79 RRP, £80 RRP round about there, and Matt the Worm Tub, you've probably seen him on Instagram, I'll link his Instagram below. He was at the distillery at the festival last year and he picked this up for me along with a Long Row. It was the two I wanted, the Kilkerran and the Long Row. So he picked them up for me, and it was a real kind gesture, and he's also, if you've seen him, if you follow him on Instagram, if you know who he is, he's actually starting up his own shop. So I'll add a link to his shop below. It's not got anything on there yet, but keep your eyes open, good things will come, and it'll be good to see where that progresses in the future. He's also an avid whiskey drinker, and he's always sending out samples and things, and always sharing experiences. So I would definitely urge you, when he does put products on there, to start buying from him, because he definitely deserves it. Anyway, enough plugging about that. I wasn't paid or anything like that. I just think Matt is a good guy, although he is a Celtic supporter. In fact, I probably shouldn't say that because there'll be other Celtic supporters out there who I've now alienated. Anyway, we'll get down to the tasting and the palate and all that good stuff. I think I've said before about Kilkerran, it's the newest old distillery in Campbelltown. William Mitchell, I believe it was, bought Glengyle or built Glengyle, whatever, so many years ago, and he ended up selling it, and I think in 1925 it was sold, and basically went, I don't know if it went to ruin or if it just went to kind of decommissioning, if you will. And 75 years or so later, the now chairman of Springbank, his great nephew, purchased the old buildings and renovated them, refurbished them, and now we have Glengyle again, Kilkerran Whisky again. So I think his name is Headley Wright, who's now at the top of Janie Mitchell. I think it's Headley Wright. Anyway, so he was a great nephew of William Mitchell, who first bought Glengyle. So a little bit of background anyway of Kilkerran and Glengyle, but I think I've already said that in a video before. So probably just repeating myself like I normally do. Anyway, we'll get down to the nose. Honeydew melon, buttered scones, there's a herbal, I think it's bay leaf, a real waxy jam for sure. There's some pine, like pine needles or pine tree in general. Something burnt or burning, or maybe not burning or burnt, but something warm, something cooking, something sweet. What the hell is that? Maybe candy floss? I don't think it's candy floss, but I want to say candy floss. I honestly don't know. It's something warm and sweet. It's almost burnt, but it's not, if that makes sense. God, I'm going off on a tangent. Aye, it's warm, sweet, something definitely cooking, or it's just been cooked. Let's just go with candy floss. That seems like the easiest thing to say here. There's a lemon freshness and a peat tang. This is wonderful. For Glengyle, for Kilkerran, I think it's pretty old product. I'm trying to think, I think 2004 was when they bought over, when Janie Mitchell Headley Wright when they bought over the grounds. So that's 16, 15. So I think the oldest product they probably will have, and it's coming out soon, is the 16-year-old. So 15's pretty old stuff for them. It's well balanced, all tied together, lovely, complex, full-bodied, a little bit sticky. It is a really wonderful nose, and I wish you could smell it. I hope some of you have managed to get a bottle of this. The palate. A lot of wood initially straight off the bat, but then that evaporates and makes way for like papaya, orange, mango, passion fruit, the kind of tropical fruits you would find. It's all quite reminiscent of a yogurt with a tropical fruit flavoured yogurt. So you've got that nice creamy vanilla yogurt flavours, and then you've also got these tropical fruitiness just packed right in there. I eat a lot of Skyr yogurt, and that's what that reminds me of. There's a passion fruit, tropical fruit flavour one that I buy quite a lot, and that's exactly like this. So creamy, quite whipped, almost sticky in a sense, and so tropical fruit. A lot of tropical fruits. Dark, rich chocolate, a little bit of bitter saltiness, and that peat tang showing its face again. There's brown sugar in an espresso coffee, and I'm going to have to pour more. This is just a rather lovely whiskey. Kilkerran, your Janie Mitchell, Springbank, you're happy, or I'm happy, and you're welcome to send me free stuff. This is so good, and I'm glad Matt managed to pick me up a bottle of it. Yeah, so there's the peat tang returns, and yeah, the espresso flavours lingering on towards the finish almost. The finish itself, this deserves way more time than I'm taking it. The finish itself, long, coffee beans, it's rather drying. There's an earth flavour, earth, wind and fire. Do you remember? Sorry, that's embarrassing. Yeah, there's a real earthy flavour to it. The peat's not so tangy now, more like a kind of earthy peat. Drying and oak tannins there. Possibly some melon on the finish, but I'm not a big fan of melon. I don't really eat melon often, but it's not just melon, it's like a cooked melon or a stewed melon. Once again, there's something warm about it. It's a very warming whiskey, and if you didn't figure it out by now, it's definitely a whiskey win. This is beautiful, and I've had a lot out of it since I opened it. I didn't open it too long ago. I think I opened it on a live with Bart, and yeah, it's just fantastic. It's such a, yeah, it's such a good whiskey. I really wish you could experience this with me. I've sent a few samples of this out, I do believe, so hopefully any of the people that I've sent samples to are watching this and agree with my notes, because it's just fantastic. It's a belter. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this off camera. I'll take a little bit of time with it. I don't want to rush it, so thanks.